everybody, I'm web chef Kimberly Turner, and I'm going to show you how to cook chicken and vegetable buttermilk omelets. This is a gorgeous, high protein, high fiber, and low carb breakfast. Now, what I've done is last night for dinner we had chicken breast, and I just always seem to make extra on purpose so I can use it for things like this. So have yourself some kind of cooked chicken, whether it's the chicken breast, chicken thighs, chicken whatever you want. You just need some chicken meat that is boneless and skinless. So remove the bones and the skin if you need to. And I'm just going to cut it into some chunks that will be, bite-sized for an omelet. So just nice little tiny chunks. They don't have to be completely uniform. The chicken breast is nice lean meat and cooks really quickly. Now my amounts are going to be making 2 omelets today. Just keep that in mind. So on my stove top, I have been preheating a frying pan, a medium-sized frying pan. And what I need to do is I'm going to soften up my vegetables slightly before we start with the omelet. That way they can tenderize up because they won't cook in there completely if you're using hard vegetables that have nice amounts of fiber, right? So I have some carrots, and instead of cutting them into chunks, we have peeled them so that they're nice and thin and more palatable and quicker to cook. We have some nice thin celery slices. This is probably a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons each. I have some tomato diced up, same amount. I have some red pimento peppers diced up. I have some cabbage really finely shaved, the same amount, and probably, 6 mushrooms sliced. So all the vegetables are going in the pan right now except the tomato. So into the frying pan with about a tablespoon of olive oil. We're going to keep this lower fat and not use butter today. So you want to stir that up and you want to tenderize these vegetables. We're going to season them a little bit as well. I'm just going to use some pepper, freshly ground, and I'm not going to use salt because I'm using a feta cheese today in my omelet. In fact, you could use any kind of cheese you want, but the feta is especially salty, so I don't need to add any extra salt. So these are cooking on a medium-high heat right now, and I just want to kind of sweat them in there. Again, you can use any kind of cheese you want. Also, the types of vegetables isn't really set in stone. You can use whatever kind of vegetables you have on hand. Just make sure you're getting a good amount of veg so that you're getting a nice amount of fiber as well. All right, these have tenderized up nicely. There you go. Beautiful, right? So I am going to add my tomatoes to the pan now just to heat them through and stir them through. Now remove that stuff from the pan and reserve it so that you can divide it equally amongst your omelets that you're going to be making. Oh, it smells so delicious. Now just use a clean paper towel, dry one, and just wipe out the pan and make sure you get any of those little bits of veggie out because you need a nice non-stick surface without anything burning on the bottom when you're making your omelets. Keep that pan on a nice low heat to keep it warm while we're doing this. So I want to mix my omelets separately. So I'm going to use 2 eggs per omelet into the bowl. To that, I'm going to add a little bit of pepper, just because I really like pepper. And I'm going to add maybe a tablespoon of buttermilk. And I'm going to whisk these furiously. I like to do it by hand. However, you could also go ahead and throw it in a blender and really make it fluffy. Now I have this heating on a medium heat, and I've added a little bit more olive oil to the pan. And I'm just going to use a brush to spread it around. I want to preheat this oil and preheat the pan and make sure that all these nooks and crannies of the pan are nice and seasoned and ready to go. Less sticky. You could use any other kind of milk you like, or none at all. Buttermilk sounds like it's fattening, but it's really only 1% milk fat, which is less than some milks that you might be getting already. So fluff those up nicely. Again, I don't need any salt because I'm adding feta cheese. Awesome. So you can see that this is nice and frothy. Make sure your pan is nice and hot. Now I like to use a medium frying pan because it helps you keep your egg a little bit thicker. If you used a large frying pan, it would spread out more and you'd have to use more eggs. But you could just share one large omelet with someone instead of making individual omelets for everyone. So into my pan goes my egg mixture. So now I've turned this down to maybe a medium-low heat. I want to make sure that this egg is going to cook all the way through, because I don't want to flip this whole saucer sized and shaped piece of egg. You have the likelihood of breaking it. What I want to do is I want to put these ingredients, these fillings, on one half of it and flip the other half over top. That way we can get things done. But the eggs need to be cooked nearly through the top before you do that, so that the egg will cook through the center. A great way to help your egg out is to cover it with a lid and kind of help the top steam. Maybe leave that lid on for about a minute and then check it, and just keep doing that until you see that the egg is nearly done through the top. Also, I'm funny about my omelets being really too browned. I don't really enjoy that. So I don't want my omelet to completely brown on the bottom. If you have the heat on too high, that's what's gonna happen, and then it's not gonna cook through to the center. All right, now, you can see that this is pretty much done through to the top, okay? I'm just gonna use my spatula and slide it very gently underneath to try and loosen the sides up a little bit so it's more pliable when I want to flip it. So let's assemble. I want to assemble on one half only and kind of leave it away from the very center. So I'm making 2 omelets, so I'm going to use half of the mixture of the vegetables in here. Gorgeous. Smells so beautiful. Lots of great nutrition in here. I'm going to put some beautiful cooked chicken breast in here. This is a very hearty omelet. This will keep you going through your day. Put as much as you like. And I'm going to use maybe a tablespoon of feta, just crumbled on top. Now I'm going to just gently lift this half of the omelet over top of the ingredients. I like to add the lid back again, let that cheese and all those ingredients heat back up again and kind of meld together for about a minute, and then we're ready to serve. And we're ready to serve. This is a gorgeous looking omelet. Look at that. Ooh, not too browned for me, so I'm picky like that. Now let's just gently ease this out onto a plate. And a sprig of parsley on the top. And serve with maybe some citrus or some other kinds of fruit. And there you have an absolutely beautiful breakfast. I've just served it with a little bit of a half of a blood orange just quartered. Look at that. Isn't that a glorious looking omelet? Beautiful for breakfast. So let me try this omelet out. It's light and fluffy. The egg is done perfectly. The chicken's so good. All those veggies are nice and savory. They kind of round everything out. And they're going to make you feel a little more full too. So don't forget to cook the other one up for someone else as well, all right? So that's how you do it. That's how you cook chicken and vegetable buttermilk omelets. The buttermilk adds a beautiful little bit of a decadence. It kind of tastes like sour cream. So it beefs this up a little bit, especially if you didn't use butter. It makes you feel like it's a little bit more luxurious, all right? Make sure you tune into future episodes of healthy recipes that are high in protein, high in fiber, and low in carbs. I'm Web Chef Kimberly Turner. See you soon.